Hi, everybody. Today we've got Leigh joining us here from Addiction Coaching. Thank you so much for joining us today, Leigh.
Thank you very much for having me.
Lovely. So, as it says in the title, obviously you work with addiction. Now, you are NLP trained. The purpose of this interview is just to let people know a bit about what working with an NLP coach is all about, how it's different from working with a therapist or a counsellor, the different techniques and tools. While they're both great models, we just want to talk more specifically about the NLP model and how it can be used to support people who are going through or have dealt with addiction, and just how you can help support them through that journey. So tell us a little bit about why did you decide to, first of all, learn NLP, and second of all, why did you decide to work with addiction specifically?
Well, first I went to learn NLP. I'll be honest, my first experiences weren't great, and then I was working with at-risk youth, and I was reintroduced to some of the tools, and I saw the results I were getting that were very effective, efficient, and the results were lasting, which the beauty I found in that is that it could be used as a story which was non-confrontational, and it could remove the emotional sting. Or, for instance, with somebody who like quite often I hear people who go to counsellors, and I've been going for 5 years, and I'm thinking, so you've had a discussion for 5 years but haven't resolved it. That sort of sends alarm bells, which with NLP, it didn't have to, all the context didn't have to be revealed, because fundamentally it's content free. What on top of that, I found with a lot of people who were helping in the mental health fields, they'd be sitting there looking at their clock, and it'd get to 45 minutes and they've picked off a scab and left the wound open without any resolve. Which NLP, because you'd get to the core of the issue by the questions, you could work out how to work with that person to be able to get the best result clearly, concisely, specifically, in a hurry, and then also teach them how to be self-sufficient.
Yeah. So, excuse me, the common theme that I'm getting here is that, yes, you identify the problem, but it's not where you stay focused. It's how you move forward and help the person that you're working with to become self-sufficient, as you said, and be able to work within or understand their own problems or the cause of their problem, so then there's no longer any need to see you.
Yeah, it's about solution-based therapy and empowering the individual who, okay, if you're an addict, look, I don't know of anybody who's woken up going, oh, wait a second, I think I'll be an addict today. It's not like a planned thing. So therefore they're out of control and they're disempowered. By giving them the power back, they realise that they can do and then build on it.
Fantastic. So tell me a bit more, why specifically, when you decided to become a coach, why did you choose to work with addiction, and what types of addiction?
Oh, how to answer this one succinctly? Well, okay, I spent over half my life with addiction problems.
Okay.
At a point in time, look, I came close to topping myself. I put a car through a pole at what police estimate, but between 220 and 260 k's an hour.
Ouch.
And somehow walked away from it. Received a concussion the week before, but it wasn't just one point. It was that I knew I wanted to change things. Probably the biggest thing was, okay, at one time I thought I had a little one on the way. And I thought, well, geez, this is my choice, not the child's, and how the hell can I support a little one coming into the world when I'm a mess like this?
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a wake-up call, but then I did relapse after going into rehab, but continued along the path, learnt different things to refine it.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, at a stage I was dealing to support a habit. When I got clean, I found that people were coming to me and asking me, who used to score off me, how did you get clean? And then friends were bringing friends, and I found that I was able to duplicate it, and it was getting results that were lasting.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened more by accident because I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself.
Okay. Yeah.
But then I saw these results were happening time and time again, and I thought, well, why not extend it to people? Because most addicts that I've found are intelligent people,
Mm-hmm.
quite often very sensitive, and may have a lack of resources to be able to be resilient when they need to. So therefore, they can't handle the pain, so they'll mask it and alter their reality through chemical means or behavioural means. So whether it be gambling, whether it be drugs, but it's just a different diversion and distraction.
Yeah. So obviously there's a varied type of addictions, from behavioural to gambling to sugar to drugs to alcohol to shopping to work. And it's all based around an initial cause or a trauma that then turns into an ongoing, as you said, nobody wakes up one day and decides that I'm going to be an addict, in whatever type that is, whatever type of addiction. And I really commend you on being vulnerable enough to share your story. So thank you very much. And by no means is there any judgment on anybody's part about where you've been. I think it's amazing what you've gone through and then gone on to do and support other people and enable them to have the resources, like you said, to be able to move forward and to be able to help people. And you've really removed that stigmatism and that judgment that there is, unfortunately, around addiction in whatever type that it is, to say that it's a bad thing, or that, you know, the media often portrays it to be a low socioeconomic problem, when in fact, as you've said, it's quite often intelligent people who just lack the resources or have had an initial cause or trauma that's then led them down a path that's ended up at addiction. But by no means do I think, or do I believe that anybody thinks, as well as yourself, that addiction is just something you decide to do or to have. So what specific techniques in an NLP environment do you use to support your clients to move through and become self-resourceful to help themselves move past these challenges?
Well, as a big overall, because there's lots of tools which you adapt according to the individual.
Of course.
What I'll say is creating an awareness of behaviours that are no longer serving the individual, because often, like, we're functioning basically on autopilot with a small, under 10%, that we're actually aware of what we're doing. And if we put the hands on the wheel, take a bit of control and have an awareness of where we're going, it can get the person to be able to break it down into small manageable steps and get there a lot quicker.
Okay, great. So what you do is you help people take the initial problem of what they're presenting with, find out what the cause is, break it down, and give them steps to move forward.
Yeah, and I find, okay, well, what need is this behaviour meeting?
Yeah.
How can I do it in a way that's more conducive to ongoing benefits without the downsides? And I ask them by asking questions, they're the ones who come up with the answer, because they know themselves better than anybody else. And by them owning it, they're more inclined, by taking part in coming up with the solution, they will do it rather than me function from my reality.
Yeah. So you really are empowering them and giving them their own solutions, or the ability to come up with their own solutions, simply by asking them differently framed or better framed questions to ask themselves, and getting them to come up with their own answers and their own solutions.
Most definitely.
Yeah, excellent. That sounds awesome. So, Leigh, as far as working with you, what is the process? Do you do group events? Do you do one-on-one type coaching? Like, what is the best way for people to reach out to you, and if they want to get in contact with you, to be able to do that?
Okay, well, I have been doing one-on-ones, I'm extending it to groups now because
Right.
I found that there were things which were quite common, which I can teach to a broader audience that were repeating on and on, like, with various clients I worked with.
Yeah.
So I can, probably the easiest way to contact me is on my Facebook page or my phone number, which is 0412 30 20 30. That's 0412 302 030.
Fantastic. And what's your Facebook page called? Addiction Coaching?
Addiction Release Coaching.
Okay, fantastic. Guys, we're going to put Leigh's details down the bottom in the comments, and we would love you to get in contact. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody or you need that support, absolutely reach out, because there are people out there who do want to genuinely help and genuinely support you through tough times. Leigh, what's one tip that you can give us in leaving to be able to help people to move forward? If they're not ready to come and see you or ready to speak in a group, what's one thing you can say or a tip that you can give to start people on the track of moving forward and helping them become more resourceful for themselves?
Well, what I'll say to a lot of people is that, okay, yes, you may be fearful, you may be going through the cycle of shame and regret, and other clients that I've worked with who thought they couldn't get beyond that are now, who were once where you were, have now stepped beyond that and they're getting a better quality of life. So when you're ready, that's okay, because my job isn't to make you wrong. My job is to support you in getting what you want.
Yeah. So really removing that shame or that fear. Excuse me.
Well, okay,
Rejection.
a lot of people associate, like some of the language they'll use around their drug is a drug that was always there, and they talk about it like a friend. So quite often I'll explain it as like being in an abusive relationship. And people, when I talk about an abusive relationship, what would you do in that circumstances? They'll go, oh yeah, well, I'll remove myself. Well, that's what you're doing, and then they get it later.
Yeah, yeah. So helping people disassociate from that drug or whatever that being, whether it being gambling or sugar or work or whatever it is that, or chemical, that they want to separate themselves from, it's becoming disassociated from it or disconnecting yourself from that.
Taking the emotional, removing the emotional charge that's keeping them locked in a cycle, which isn't conducive to them moving forward.
Yeah, excellent. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today and your support. I'd really like to take this further and do a longer interview. This is really just an introduction, guys, about what addiction release coaching does and how Leigh works. So thank you very much for your time, Leigh. I really appreciate it. And guys, if you've got any questions, please reach out to Leigh. He's a great guy. I've worked with him personally, and just honest to God, genuine to the soul. So absolutely, thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it. And I really hope some people have the courage to really reach out and even just have a chat to somebody. You know, and my phone is always open. I can't say my door. My phone is always open. Guys, like, reach out if you need help. Leigh is absolutely 100% the specialist in this particular area. So he would be the best person to talk to. But if you need a female to talk to, you know, my ear is always open. My phone is always open. So guys, you know, if you need it, and we all do at some point, reach out. So thank you so much, Leigh. Greatly appreciate it. And yeah, look forward to hearing more about these group events and how people can come along.
Thank you very much. And you keep that big heart going for them.
Shall do. All right, Dal. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers. Bye.